What is up, Mortgage Coach community? I am with Dan Smokoska. What's up, brother?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. So I have been following this guy on LinkedIn for a long time. How long have you been active at the level you are right now on LinkedIn?
I'll say 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, really just hitting it hard. 3 years.
And the way I always like to put it is just he's valuable. He's authentically valuable on social media. He's doing a great job of helping other leaders. Whether those are mortgage executives that are bringing value and bringing leadership, or loan officers, which we will stay with us if you are a mortgage professional. We're going to share some ideas on how you can get more business from CPAs, financial planners, and just local leaders using LinkedIn. So we'll come to that. But guys, we are at the Housing Wire event. And I said this last year. I go, last year, The Gathering was the single best event I've been to in my career. And I've been to a lot of executive level, and I'm talking executive level events. And why was it awesome? Because you had leaders in real estate and leaders in mortgage coming together for housing. And this year shattered last year. What do you think?
I mean, I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah.
Housing Wire always puts on great events, but this event is, and this is not just BS right now. This is legitimate. Best event I've been to. The content, the way it's like, there's small like group here like on the property. Like everybody's just like getting to know each other, or sharing stories, or it's just been, man, it's been absolutely amazing. And so like if anybody was ever thinking about doing it, hopefully you have FOMO right now. And hopefully next year you get here because it's that good.
Yeah, and to me, there was a lot of great sessions. I was honored to deliver a message with Bruce Gerke with JD Powers, immediately following what I thought was the highlight of the show, which I think most people would say is you had the CEO of Rocket, you had the CEO of Mr. Cooper, and you had the CEO of Redfin. And again, it's who's who in the C-suite of mortgage and housing. Would have been some of your highlights.
I mean, like, all of the people that you see online, all of the thought leaders, all of the people who are trying to like change the mortgage industry for the better, like trying to move us forward, everybody's just hanging out together. The sessions, of course, are great, but like the networking opportunities, the just being able to hang out, get to just hear from your buddies that you've seen or make new friends. The Rocket one was awesome. I mean, just the people who are in this room is like, there's not a room in mortgage that matches the caliber that's here. So it's just been awesome. Yeah.
Now the quality of the people, the servant leadership for me, for someone who's been in the mortgage business for 38 years, I just feel like it's a highlight of leadership. Yep. Where the people on stage are showing up really well. I think there is a unified vision of the future of lending, and in technology, using technology, having technology, getting utilization of that technology. Everybody is aligned that it's not a good idea. It's not a competitive advantage. It's a requirement to move forward in the space.
Yep.
Anything else you want to call out from the event itself?
10 out of 10.
Cool.
Like seriously, 10 out of 10. For loan officers specifically, this is what I would say for them. Like, when you're a loan officer, a lot of times you can feel like you're on an island. You can kind of feel alone because you're so focused on your deals closing. But when you open up to what this industry has to offer and the people that are here, and it opens up the whole world. So I've seen that time and time again, is just how much of an impact that can have on just knowing that you're part of something that is actually really bigger than you and doing some really great things.
Love it. Well, let's go to LinkedIn. So first of all, you have coached, trained. You have a multi-week training, kind of like boot camp.
Yeah.
How many loan officers and professionals have gone through that?
Oh man, probably 300 plus.
Okay.
At this point.
So one, he is a leader and influencer, and then two, he has coached and trained 300-ish loan officers and mortgage executives on how to, and I would like to always just put it out there, be valuable on social media. I know people are on social media, myself included, are to have influence for sales, for marketing, for recruiting. But the way you were successful at recruiting retaining, and all those things, be valuable. So walk us through a couple best practices, and a big part of our audience are loan officers or managers of loan officers. So let's not talk about how executives can use it as a leadership platform for recruiting other loan officers. Let's talk about it. How can they use it as a leadership platform to recruit CPAs, financial planners?
Yeah.
And I don't know if realtors are using LinkedIn.
Some are.
But talk to us.
Okay, so one of the biggest misconceptions of LinkedIn is that there's no business on there for loan officers, and I can tell you that's not true, because we have people who are winning deals and business from it all the time. Through my boot camp thing, we've had 300 plus people go through it, but I've trained thousands of loan officers on this stuff through different workshops and speaking opportunities and whatnot. And what happens is the people who actually do the work and understand the process, which nobody knows all of that stuff starting off. That's why you go find it from other people who've done it before you. But we've tested this thing time and time again, and the things that we have seen is that when you know who your audience is, when you pick up on who that ideal customer is, and you put a little time into your profile, and then you go after those right people, business opportunities come through, meetings get booked. No joke. One of the things that we do is we help loan officers book referral partner calls strictly through LinkedIn. This can be realtors. This can be financial planners.
Let's niche this. Let's pick a city, because I know my boy Dan Keller. He created a goal a long time ago that he wanted to be the most well-known loan officer in Seattle, and he's active on Insta, Facebook. I actually don't think he's that active on LinkedIn. So Dan, let's see if you should be. So let's say I was Dan, and let's say I really wanted LinkedIn for CPAs and financial planners. And let's go and let's just say financial planners. I wanna grow relationships with financial planners. I want to use LinkedIn. I'm in Seattle. Go. What do we do?
So the first thing that you would do is you would really hone in on what their pain points are and how you help solve them. All right. And so when you have an idea as to who that audience is and what resonates with them, you're going to be able to reach them a whole lot better than if you're just doing general content. The way we do that on the starting point, though, is we take it from foundational piece. You know who your audience is, but then you build a profile that speaks to that audience. And we don't do online resumes anymore, so that's a thing of the past. What we coach to do is we want to you to change your online resume, your LinkedIn profile, into a sales page. And so there's some ways to do this really, really effectively and get the messaging really dialed in. In fact, if you think about an online resume is all about you, your accomplishments, the things you've done. If we're in sales, we don't need a job. What we need is business. And so we flip that up, and what we say, okay, my client in this context would be financial planners, probably in the Seattle area, right? And what are their biggest pain points? And the questions that I have everybody ask is, who do you help? How do you help them? And why should they trust you? Those are it. Who do you help? How do you help them? And why should they trust you? And so if you can answer those questions through profile, then when they land on your profile, they're going to know that you're speaking directly to them. And so that's the foundation. That's the start. But then what I do is I would go in, search filters, just basic LinkedIn search filters. You can really narrow down a list of who those people are within your local market by the actual the title of their job. You can go find them, and then you create a list of people you're going to engage with. And when I say engage, that means go comment, DM them, but don't sell them. Just go build a relationship with them, and that's the first piece. For all the loans.
By the way, pause right there.
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying not go sell them, because right now
Yeah.
I love the profile. Mm-hmm. I love the target list.
Mm-hmm.
But now my sales animal mind goes, hey, let's give value. Because I always believe when I think of selling,
Mm-hmm.
I think of giving value, creating content that gives value, but then call them, text them, private message them, give them value, give them value. Make sure that when you're talking to customers in your market, you're asking, well, who's your CPA? Who's your financial planner? Let's go connect with them. Let's engage with them. Hey, I'm helping the Smith family. Here's an example of what I'm doing. So I just want to start selling. But remember, I think selling is giving value. So tune me up. Let's get aligned.
So let's talk about that, because when we're talking about, this is going to be a pain point for every single person that logs on to LinkedIn. What everybody hates is when they log in, they make a connection, and as soon as they make that connection with somebody, they get a DM asking for business.
Okay.
Not what we're talking about.
I agree with that.
Not what we're talking about. So we would say, in agreement here, value, 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 value. Build a relationship. And listen, when I say build a relationship, I don't mean like spend a year not selling. What I mean is, for the person who jumps in a DM and just says, hey, love what you're doing for the community.
I think I'd like to talk to you. Like we have time. By the way, the LinkedIn mail list has become like my number one spam folder. People just, hey, you got a cool profile. Let's connect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I don't have time to blind connect with people.
Right.
And
right.
So by the way, I stand corrected. I would not start DMing them to do business. I got you. But what about calling them? And just,
I wouldn't.
No?
Listen. Yes, go for it. Here's the thing for me. I don't say no to anything. I go test it out. So everything that I'm telling you is like stuff that I've like legitimately tested out and try to like make sure what works, what doesn't work, and like what the cadence is.
And what works best.
And what works best. And
so what works best is how many values before we're going to start trying to get a meeting.
Yeah. Ultimately, here's what we're doing. The difference with social selling is that what we're trying to do, there is an outbound, which is what you're talking about, go out and get the business. But down the road, what we're trying to get you to is where you're not even having to reach out to them. They're reaching out to you because they know you and they trust you because they see you all the time online. And that way of sales is significantly better than any other way to do it, because they know you, because you've been familiar, they trust you, and you have already built that equity of like, they will have a conversation with. Here's what I say, spend a week. Like, okay, you can either go get them and try to sell them right away, or if you take 1 week, maybe 2.
No, I'm down.
You go like this.
You got me.
You like their posts. You give them, you support their content, because everybody likes their content supported. I do too. They start seeing you do it, and then what you do is you go into the DMs and you just say something that's not salesy, because it throws them off, because everybody else is salesy. So what you say is like, loved your post today, keep crushing it for our market, you're doing great. In another 3 or 4 days, you hit them up and you ask them for, let's go grab coffee or do a Zoom call. The likelihood of you getting that call in that meeting versus if you just did it right away is night and day.
Okay, so let's close out with a couple things. One, posting, how often, like I know the loan or the mortgage executives trying to recruit, they're posting all the time.
Yeah.
So let's not do that sequence. But if I'm mortgage baller, I want to win in a market, how often should I post? And I would just think it's thought leadership. You want, like, hey, financial planners, they manage the asset side of the balance sheet.
Yeah.
You manage the liability side.
Yeah.
So I would have to think that I'm a liability manager.
Yeah.
I help financial planners help families build wealth faster with liability management. Like, that would be some good stuff. But how often should I post on that?
So I think I have a very different view than most people on this.
I'm talking to you.
My view is that you post as often as you can every day. Every day would be my recommendation. Not that you post 2 times a day. I would say 1 time a day. But then the other piece is that you need to go engage with other people, because what happens is people see your posted content and then they see you interacting and engaging with other people. So if you think about the day, if you do both of those things, you're going to get multiple opportunities to be in front of people. And so one of the things I'm really big on is the foundation for everything that I like coach on and I talk about, and the way that I did my business was understanding like the psychological principle, familiarity bias. And that simply means that the more that someone sees you, the more that that person trusts you. And if that is the equation, then you get out there as much as you can. And if you do that consistently over time, you'll be the most well-known person. Your face will be everywhere. You'll never know that person exists until they hit you in the DMs and they're like, dude, I see you all the time. I love you.
All right. So here's what I want, guys. I would love to hear in this community of folks that follow our YouTube channel who is winning in a, whether it's a geo, a zip code, a city, or it's a topic, and it's a national topic. If you are winning business, if you are getting meetings, and you're being valuable on LinkedIn, I want to hear from you. So comment down below wherever this is, private message me. If someone wanted to get your coaching, or they want to, obviously his name is here, he's tagged, so I don't need to tell you how to find him on LinkedIn. What other channels are you on, and what's the best way to stay in touch?
Honestly, it's gonna be LinkedIn. What I tell people is, so you see me on here, literally just go into LinkedIn and DM me and be like, hey, saw you chatting with Dave. Here's like, I want to connect with you. And then if you do that, I'll even send you like some resources, not with like, I get your email and you get the resource. I'll send you just free resources with a link. I have a couple things I think could be beneficial to them. But if you reach out to me, I've even taken my website down. No joke. Yeah. Everything.
Well, I mean,
everything is LinkedIn.
You're a LinkedIn all-in guy.
Website is my LinkedIn profile page. And so yeah, connect with me on there and I respond really quickly. I'll respond to literally everybody. And yeah, just follow me, just find me on there and connect and say, hey, give me some resources and I'll hook you up.
So Dan, you are a good dude.
You're a good dude.
It's good getting to know you better.
You too, man.
Appreciate you. Hopefully you guys are getting value from this. Make sure you follow Savage Insiders or SavageInsights.com. Whoever I'm interviewing next is going to be at the very top. And then a couple down is the Savage Insiders Mobile Club. Make sure you sign up for that. If you are a manager or a leader, I'm all about turning loan officers into data-driven mortgage coaches who will be rocket-proof, who will be AI-proof, and who will kill it in this market and every market. Hopefully you got value. Take care, y'all. Give us a like, share it with your friends.